Have you ever noticed how it doesn't happen all at once? You don't wake up one morning cynical. It's quieter than that. It's the third time your late-night effort gets picked apart in a meeting. It's the manager who confuses intimidation with leadership. It's the performance review that feels more like a courtroom than a conversation. And slowly, without ceremony, something inside you tightens. The eager version of you, the one who stayed late because you cared, starts checking the clock instead. Today I want to talk about something many professionals carry but rarely name: accumulated corrosion. Not burnout from one bad sprint, not frustration from one missed promotion, but the slow layering of disappointment over years. And here's the twist: the world tells you this cynicism is wisdom. But what if it's not? What if it's simply unprocessed experience? And what if the way back to your true self is not naive optimism but disciplined clarity? We are going to walk through a real guide today, rooted in Stoicism. Backed by psychology, grounded in leadership research from people like Covey, and built for the real world, not the lab environment, the real one. Part 1: Name the accumulation. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, and I quote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That line is not a motivational poster. It is a boundary. Cynicism grows when we internalize what was never ours to carry. A bad boss humiliates you publicly. A company rewards politics over competence. Over time, you begin to generalize. This is what psychology calls learned helplessness, first identified by Martin Seligman. When repeated negative experiences lead someone to believe their actions no longer matter, even when they do. Separate what happened from who you are. Write down 3 defining professional moments that hurt you. Was this about my character or about their behavior? 9 times out of 10, it was about their behavior. That realization alone loosens the knot. Part 2: Rebuild internal agency. Covey wrote in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I quote, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response." Cynicism collapses that space. You stop choosing, you start reacting. The antidote is what Covey called the circle of influence. Draw 2 circles. In the outer one, write everything frustrating you at work: leadership, strategy, politics. Decisions. In the inner one, write only what you can influence: your skill, your tone, your boundaries. Your preparation, your standards. Focus exclusively on the inner circle for 30 days. Research on locus of control consistently shows that individuals who focus on controllable actions experience greater resilience and engagement. This is not about tolerating dysfunction. It is about reclaiming leverage. Part 3: Stop confusing guardedness with strength. There is a moment in many careers where people believe it feels like self-protection, but often it becomes emotional malnutrition. Stoicism is frequently misunderstood as emotional suppression. It is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things. Notice that word, judgments. You are allowed to care. You are allowed to feel. The discipline is not removing emotion. It is removing distortion. Am I protecting myself from future harm, or am I shrinking to avoid vulnerability? Because the version of you that once stayed late was not foolish. They were aligned with purpose. We don't revive that by blind trust. We revive it by selective commitment. Choose one project, one area, one domain where you decide to bring back excellence. Not everywhere, just somewhere. Part 4: Reclaim trust intelligently. Trust does not mean naivete. Covey later wrote about the speed of trust, arguing that trust reduces friction and cost in organizations. But trust is not binary. You trust in layers. Psychological research on workplace engagement, including studies from Gallup, consistently shows that having just one trusted colleague dramatically improves resilience and retention. You do not need universal safety. You need pockets of alignment. Find one person who values competence and integrity. Build microtrust. Cynicism dissolves faster in connection than in isolation. Part 5: Redefine what winning means. Here is the hard truth. Some environments will not change, and some leaders will never evolve. If your definition of professional success is dependent on external validation from flawed systems, you will always feel robbed. Viktor Frankl wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, and I quote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This is not surrender, it is sovereignty, skill growth, integrity maintained, boundaries held. Energy protected. When you win internally, you become employable again. not because you are agreeable, but because you are grounded, the return to your true self. Your true self was never destroyed, it was covered, layer by layer, experience by experience. The eager version of you was not weak. They were strong enough to care, and caring, disciplined by wisdom, becomes something far more powerful than youthful enthusiasm. It becomes deliberate excellence, not blind hustle, not bitter detachment, but calibrated engagement. You choose where to invest, you choose how to respond, you choose what you become despite the environment. The impediment to action advances action. Every bad boss, every unfair review, every late night dismissed, it does not have to harden you into cynicism, it can refine you into clarity. In closing, if you feel a little hardened, a little skeptical, a little less trusting than you once were, you are not broken, you are experienced. Now the work is integration. Reclaim your circle of influence, choose selective excellence, build micro-trust, redefine winning, and watch what happens. Because the most powerful professional in any room is not the loudest, it is the one who has been through the corrosion and decided not to become it.